The topic that I went to write my final paper on is the impact of e-cigarettes on public health. It goes by many different aliases: vaping, juuling, e-cigarettes, or whatever you want to call it. After doing some research on the topic, I noticed that there are very few studies conducted that show the long-term effects of these cigarettes. The main reason being, e-cigarettes have not been on the market long enough to even know the long-term effects. When cigarettes first came on the market, large number of people were partaking in the activity, thinking that nothing would happen to them, but later it has been linked to cancer, heart disease, stroke, lung disease, diabetes, emphysema, and many other things. Similarly, young adults using e-cigarettes are not thinking about the consequences of their actions. Part of this ignorance of consequence is because of the gap in research about the health effects of e-cigarettes. One way I will fill in the gap is I'm going to interview long-term e-cigarette users and see if they have noticed effects of vaping. Although this is not a real study, I can compare their answers to cigarette smokers' responses and determine if they have similar health effects. In my final paper, I will use logos, ethos, and pathos. I will use ethos in my paper to ensure the reader that my paper is credible. I will establish this credibility by using scholarly sources. One of my sources is written by Dr. Rebecca Williams, who is a researcher at UNC Lineberger Comprehensive Cancer Center and Center for Health Promotion and Disease Prevention. The article is about a study she conducted to raise awareness of vaping. For logos, I will use my scholarly sources to appeal to the logic of the reader by providing factual information. I will use the CDC for statistics about the effects of cigarettes and e-cigarettes. For example, the CDC states that cigarette smoking causes more than 480,000 deaths each year in the United States. This is nearly 1 in 5 deaths. On the other hand, e-cigarette use among young people is unsafe, even if they do not progress to future cigarette smoking. For pathos, Dr. Luttrell, I will attempt to appeal to your emotions by revealing the misuse of e-cigarettes by adolescents and the effects it can have on their health in the future. Knowing that you have kids of your own, hopefully the information that I will share with you in my paper will reveal the severity of the health effects of e-cigarettes, creating a fear and urgency so that you can talk to your kids about e-cigarettes. Here I have videoed LSU students using their electronic cigarettes in the quad.